Dome Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, best middleweight in the world, Demetrius Andrade, fighting on June the 29th. All right? And it's coming in a couple of days. Demetrius Andrade versus Malik Sulecki, right? Now, Malik Sulecki is 28-1 with 11 KOs. Malik Sulecki is a formidable guy. He's only lost to Daniel Jacobs, which you can do. And that was a unanimous decision, but it was still close. People, had that fight a little close. So he's all right. He's got wins over Kokai, and he beat an undefeated Hugo Centeno Jr. Undefeated when he was there. You know what I'm saying? So this guy is 28-1 with 11 KOs, right? He's Polish cat, Chesh homie. He's in there, and he's thinking that Demetrius Andrade is not one of the best middleweights, and he's trying to prove it. Sulecki is a fighter. You better be coming with it right now. Now, Demetrius Andrade is undefeated, 27-0, 17 KOs. He's an Olympian, right? And he's a two-division champ, right? Got the WBO belt in the middleweight division. He had it in the super middleweight division. I'm calling him the best middleweight right now, and of course, it's arguably. Right? We got 5 of them who we consider the best. If it's Jamal Charlo, who you have to consider one of the best, Golovkin, Canelo, Demetrius Andrade, and Daniel Jacobs. Those are about the 5 you would be saying. Now, Darren Chinko will have something to say about that. Those are pretty much the 5. Demetrius Andrade is still undefeated, which puts him arguably. Another reason is he's been trying to fight Canelo since he's an infant. I always say that when I mention Demetrius Andrade. He's been calling Canelo's name when he had the pacifier in his mouth, and they took it out, and he was, Canelo! And they didn't know who it was talking about. 20 years later, they found out it's a Canelo. It's really one. Demetrius Andrade won a Canelo at 154. He couldn't get fights at 154, so they blackballed him. He got the Taz syndrome, and Taz is Guillermo Rigondeaux syndrome, which means you're fighting in a division, no one to fight you, right? No one to fight you, and the ones that won't fight you will get more famous than you, get more accolades, right? It's the same thing that happened to this guy. Canelo doesn't never have to fight Demetrius Andrade. Let's hope that this can happen if he wins this fight. Like I said, he has the WBO belt, and when it comes to Demetrius Andrade, I know like it is when brothers fight, the expectations are high. Hey, you got to take this guy out. You got to do. No, you ain't. Beat him. Canelo ain't taking people out and all that neither. He's barely winning these fights, and there's a lot of controversial fights. He barely wins them. So Demetrius Andrade don't have to come in here, I better do something awesome against Sulecki. You better just win against Sulecki, right? You got the WBO strap. People used to want the WBO strap in the middleweight division when Billy Joe Saunders had it, but they don't want to do it, right? Golovkin, think about this. You want to fight Canelo, and all you got to do is go get the WBO belt. He will not go fight Andrade. He wouldn't fought Steve Rose. He will not go fight Andrade to get the WBO belt so he could fight Canelo in a unification or undisputed match. Canelo and his team told him, go get that belt. He won't. He's hoping that the zone forces Canelo to fight him for a trilogy. Canelo just stated, I am not interested in that trilogy if this guy won't go get a belt or do something, fight somebody. I'm not going to do the heavy lifts. I just fought Jacobs and then him before that. I'm going to fight either Callum Smith or Kovalev, but he also says Demetrius Andrade, but he says, whispers Demetrius Andrade's name. I think Demetrius Andrade, if he wins the fight, he has the WBO strap. That should be the fight for undisputed middleweight division before Canelo goes back up to 168 or whatever. And make sure this is clear with Demetrius Andrade. He was at 154 with Canelo. He told Canelo, we at 160 now, we can fight. And if you move to 168, I am following you. So when it comes to Demetrius Andrade, he's going to follow Canelo wherever he is. And think about that, guys. So this is a guy right here. And this guy we're going to try to ignore. Well, listen, your boy, Gennady Golovkin was able to fight Steve Rose, number 81 in the world. Andreas said something about that. He says, listen, let me just make this clear, right? He's fighting number 81s in the world. I'm fighting hard opponents. I wanted Golovkin. We asked for Golovkin. He said no. Then I fought Sulecki. Right? Similar to Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade fights Golovkin, arguably beat him. No one says rematch, right? He fights 4 undefeated guys in a row, right? Formidable undefeated guys. And then, barely loses to Canelo. Now he's out of the box. So it's a lot of stuff going on in boxing, that's just absolutely ridiculous. These guys who are under these guys, are getting or who don't want to fight guys, like the guys who didn't want to fight Rigondeaux, or the guys who don't want to fight Andrade. Way more famous. It's like if you got Champions League and the guy in the round of 32, right, get a bigger bonus than the guy who wins the Champions League final or goes to the final of the Champions League. This is what's happening. Hey, you go to round of 32, round of 16, get knocked out then, right? And shoot, we get bigger bonuses than the big guys because the demographic. Get up out of here. Demetrius Andrade, I'm gonna say is the best middleweight till somebody else proves different. You know what I mean? Prove it different. Prove it different. Like this guy goes out and does his business. Somebody might call him boring. Don't do that no more. As long as we got Tyson Fury, the biggest guy in the heavyweight division, huge guy running around there slapping, right? So if that's cool, then Demetrius, don't go in here. I have to knock this guy. Why? Anybody else knocking anybody out that's formidable? Golovkin don't have to fight anyone at all and still holler about Canelo. No, you guys check out Demetrius Andrade. It's nothing new. You can watch highlights or whatever. Like I say, 27-0, 17 KOs. Awesome fighter. Has been the whole time. Just blackballed, just like Guillermo Rigondeaux, Louis Real King Kong Ortiz, and others. So, he's fighting. Tune in. Best middleweight in the world. Now, I'm going to say arguably because you got to go with Canelo because Canelo has still, at least he's stepping in the ring with guys that are formidable, right? He knows all he got to do is stand up, and he's not going to get a loss on a decision. So that's a good thing to have, but he is at least challenging himself. So is Andrade, so is Jacobs. One guy isn't, right? So, yes, Demetrius Andrade is arguably the best middleweight. Somebody do something about that. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.